Welcome back. We're talking mental health here on TMB with Johansi Ayodike, and we are talking, I love he just gives these two words, well, ad hoc. Ad hoc is one word actually.
Right,
one hyphenated word. So, ad hoc, what does that mean?
Ad hoc means a temporary measure to a situation. So when something happens, you just react to it and you give a temporary solution for it. So let me give an example. You have a pothole, you just throw something to fill it. Right. A pipe bursts in your home, use not a plumber, you just put something together quick to fix it. Right? So that's ad hoc. Now what I want to talk about is doing ad hoc things in your life.
Right.
So there may be situations where you need to think long term. And instead of thinking long term, you just kind of do anything. So you may have, so let's go simple first. You need a suit or clothes to go to work, right? You need it quickly. You may go and buy something cheap, quote unquote cheap, but you may end up wearing that cheap thing for a long time. And that is an error. You should plan in advance instead of doing something reactionary. And I'm saying that on a personal level and also on a let's say, an organizational and even a country level. Yes, something happened, you react to it, you solve it, but it's also thinking about it long term.
And a part of that too is just not reacting immediately to the situation, taking a step back, I assume, and looking at the big picture.
Yes.
But that is a mindset that not everybody has. A lot of people panic and they want to fix things right away. So that is a mindset change that you're looking at there.
Yes, and I would say sometimes when something happens, it's good to react immediately to it, right? So there's an emergency, there's something that you didn't expect, you react to it. But don't live your life in reaction. Right? So when it happens and you react, okay, you fix it temporarily, now plan ahead. So you know every year you buy these things for Christmas. You know every year you spend more money for Christmas and you end up with less money in January. You plan for it. You know every year you have books to buy for school. You plan for it. You know every year you have certain things. Every year you have a rainy season. Floods come. You plan for it. You know every year you have certain things. So instead of being reactionary, what you do, you put that plan into place. And that's important because when we live our life in reaction, right, that a lot of times end up being traumatic for us.
Right.
It ends up creating anxiety. So it's like we're going from situation to situation, not looking ahead. Now, of course, you can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow, right? But if we live in our life, and most of us live a routine life, we know what a typical Monday, Tuesday, etc., is like. So putting things in place will help reduce the likelihood of experiencing trauma when something unexpected happens.
How does that work? Now, a lot of what you described is financial. Does that work in relationships as well? In terms of you're in a relationship and she might say, I'm hungry, let's go out for dinner. As opposed to, let me plan what we're going to eat for dinner, or let me plan some dates ahead in the future. Does that ad hoc versus long-term thinking work in relationships as well?
Yes, and putting things in place, creating a routine. So every Wednesday we're doing this, every Friday we're doing this. Now, of course, there's room for spontaneity, right? But if we know as a couple, as a friends in a family setting, we know that to have this routine, it takes away from the unexpected things, right? And even I would say with children, establishing a routine for children are important so they could trust that mommy and daddy or whoever the guardians are will do things for you, and even in a relationship, in a romantic relationship, for it to be secure. So I don't have to wonder, I wonder when he doing this for me, I wonder when she doing this for me, versus, okay, well, I know every Tuesday we just do this together. I know every Sunday we're going to do this. I know at 7 o'clock every day we're going to do etc., etc. Of course, there'll be extraneous variables, but at least I know and I have a routine set.
How would you respond to people who may say, that's boring? I don't want to be bored. I just want to live life. Life is short. Sit on my pants. How do you respond to those people?
It depends on, if it's you alone, that may be feasible for you. If you want to live life based on just random things happening and react to it, that may be okay for you. And it's good to analyze that, because some people may analyze and realize that's not the life I want to live. So you put things in place. Some people say, I love that excitement. So I will live life like that. One, knowing yourself important. So at least you are able to put things in place to live the life that will bring you the most fulfillment. Now, two, if there are other people, especially people who depend on you,
exactly.
whether it is a mother, a alien parent, dependents as in children, a wife, a girlfriend, etc., then putting things in place important, because unless they all like to live life that way.
But even still, their version of ad hoc is not your version of ad hoc and chaos.
Correct. So establishing a plan with them, and it don't have to be the perfect plan, but at least something that both people find common ground with, and then doing that instead of always wondering what's going to happen.
Right.
Because that will create an anxious state. And living life in anxiety, one, could be very stressful and also very draining, because you're always on edge.
Yeah.
You're always hypersensitive.
Yeah.
Correct. And not only fight or flight, I will add another reaction to trauma is freeze. So we have flight, fright, and freeze. And that's why sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. I just not doing nothing at all.
Go and take a nap.
Yes. So putting things in place will give us the best tools to be able to deal with life and stay mentally healthy.
It's one of those things where you hope for peace, but you prepare for war.
Something along those lines, yes. You hope for the best, but you prepare for the worst. And it will also bring longevity, because even if you want to look at, you have a business, right? You have a business, you're a leader of some organization, or you're running a country. Doing things ad hoc would never be healthy for the country, right? Here in Trinidad, we have we have so many resources here. And it seems like we seem to do things ad hoc. As something happen, I just kind of pop up.
You think in 5-year increments, not 30-year plans.
Correct.
Just this government, that government, that government. Yeah.
Correct. And we could see, because we have first world resources, but still operating with a third world mentality. Sometimes, people say, you're running the country like a parlor, you're running things like a parlor, but the truth is, sometimes even some parlors run better than that.
Listen, parlors will be open for all 30, 40 years, what you talking about, and passed down from generation to generation.
There's plan. So if people eating this thing, they make sure and stock this up and they make less of this.
Parlors are very well run.
Yes.
I will say.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Johanse. We appreciate your time. It is always great. And we plan to have you here next week.
Perfect.
All right, let's take another break. It is TMB here on CNC3. Stay with us.